Thanks for tuning in to Red Belt Radio. The following episode is scheduled for one fall. I'm Jason, and this show is dedicated to World Wonder Ring Stardom. Today, I'm covering the end-of-year Stardom event, Stardom Dream Queendom, which takes place in just over 24 hours at the time of this recording. Information on purchasing the pay-per-view can be found in the description below. I'm going to give my thoughts on these matches and who I think will be victorious. Stardom Dream Queendom can go one of three ways, as far as I can tell. Best case scenario, the show not only delivers in terms of entertainment value and impressive theatrics, but also gives us a clear view of upcoming, exciting build-ups in the new year. Worst case scenario, the show presents a number of confusing outcomes and an even greater sense of confusion for where 2024 is actually headed. I think the median option and most likely outcome is that we'll be impressed by some things, confused by others, and we'll have a partial picture of the plan for early 2024, while still not knowing what the deal is with a number of people, titles, factions, etc. I hope you enjoy my hilariously bad predictions, as we will be able to look back and laugh at these very soon. If you find these transmissions valuable, please give this a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. To open the show, we have a 6-woman tag match between some of Stardom's newest competitors. The team of Miyu Amasaki, Yuzuki, and Azusa Inaba will be facing the team of Hanako, Sayaka Kurara, and Rana Yagami. I'm picking Miyu Amasaki's team to win here. Sayaka and Rana both debuted literally a few days ago. I think it's way too early to expect them to get a win, even with Hanako's help. Next, we have a 4-way tag match, which is 4 tag teams, each representing a different faction. Lady C and Hina versus Yuna Mizumori and a returning Saki versus Thekla and Mai Sakurai versus a healed-up Saki Kashima and Ami Sourei. I'm expecting Saki Kashima to pick up the victory here. Mai Sakurai is a close second option, but with a match this chaotic, we're going to need someone who can slip in a fast roll-up to get a sneaky victory. Saki Kashima is the perfect candidate, and I feel like the winners of this match could go on to challenge for the Goddess of Stardom titles. So Saki Kashima and Ami Sourei seem like a viable option, at least compared to the rest of these. Up next, the Stars team of Mayu Iwatani, Hazuki, Hanan, and Saya Ida will take on Oedo Tai's Starlight Kid, Rina, Ruaka, and Fukigen Death. I see this as the beginning of Mayu's big win streak leading up to the promotion of her biopic that I think is getting released in Japan first quarter of the new year. I could be wrong about that, but if I'm not, then I like Mayu's team here. We have a very odd 6-woman tag next, which will see Shuri, Mina Shirakawa, and Mei Seira taking on Nanae Takahashi, Yu, and Azumi. I really wish this show had something more significant for Shuri, something more significant for Mina, something more significant for Azumi, and instead of having Nanae placed here, I would have preferred another passion injection match for someone in Stardom. At any rate, I have Nanae's team beating Shuri's team, with either Mei Seira or Mina taking the loss. Shuri is building up to her challenge against Mayu on January 4th, and I don't see why Stardom would bring out Nanae and Yu just to have them lose. The first of our title matches is next, when Aphrodite's Utami Hayashishita and Saya Kamitani make their first defense against XL, Natsuko Tora, and Momo Watanabe. Utami and Saya are a feel-good team. They are something most any crowd can get behind, and they are 2 big names in this promotion that should regularly have something to do. I think Stardom would be silly to take the belts off of them immediately, and they should start the new year with Aphrodite near the top of their cards. So, I have Aphrodite winning. Next, Julia will defend the New Japan Strong belt against Megan Bayne. I honestly don't think that Megan Bayne gets enough credit when compared to the other foreigners who have shown up to Stardom this year. Within the first few weeks of her arrival, Megan was in the main event of a pay-per-view, making a play for the red belt title. That's a huge amount of pressure, and not a lot of time to get one's act together. Megan really delivered in a position where other foreigners usually would have needed some time to get in gear. Regardless, I think the New Japan Strong belt is ideally reserved for really big names. People who can be placed on a card either in Japan or in America and bring something really solid to that card in terms of name value. Megan Bayne is not quite in that position, so even if Julia has her sights set on leaving, I don't think this is the person to take her belt. I'm picking Julia. We have an immediate white belt rematch between Mirai and Saori Ano. Saori beat Mirai in the 5-star Grand Prix, and their first white belt match ended in a 30-minute draw. I'm a huge fan of Saori Ano in Stardom. She's incredible. But I'm picking Mirai. The entire concept of Mirai's white belt reign ties into her catchphrase, which I don't know the exact translation, but it's something like, "Put your entire soul into it." So, for all of Mirai's matches, she has to in some way feel like an underdog. She has to be forced into these situations where the only way out is for Mirai to put her entire soul into it and find the victory. She has to be taken to a place of utter desperation. And this is what Saori has done to her. Saori has driven Mirai to a place where she has been unable to break through and find victory. Mirai will be the ultimate underdog here, even though she's the champion. That is, if they manage to pull this off. I think the whole gimmick is to make Mirai as extreme of an underdog as possible so that she can win in the end. I'm picking Mirai. Our main event is for the vacant red belt title, and it's a rematch of the 5-star Grand Prix finals between Suzu Suzuki of No Faction and Maika of DDM. I've gotten a lot closer to picking Maika on this than I had been previously. And the reason for that is Stardom seems to be promoting Maika heavily in the lead up to this match. She's been showcased on Samurai TV, Tokyo Sports, the opening 10 minutes of the Big Winter pay-per-view. She's been placed on the thumbnails of many recent house shows on Stardom World. And even in her promos with Suzu, the focus has been almost completely on Maika. The so-called Empress era has been foreshadowed more than once. And I struggled to see why Stardom would go to the effort of making Maika seem even more compelling and even more central to this match if they're just going to shove her face in the mud again and repeat the results of the 5-star final. In spite of myself, I'm still picking Suzu Suzuki to win. I've been scraping for every piece of information I can find, and even little things like the fact that Suzu is further up the card on Stardom's January 3rd show has me pessimistic about Maika's chances. Suzu is also just perpetually in super push mode, and if she's going to be the top of top tier all-timer that Stardom seems to want her to be, they probably feel like they can't have someone who's never won the red or white belt stop her in her tracks. I think strong cases can be made on either side for who is going to win and for who should be winning. However, if Suzu does win this, I don't think you can make a strong argument that Stardom did a great job with her build-up or overall story. The story of Micah winning this prize is just better. It's Micah who feels more like a character in this. It's Micah that seems more invested. It's Micah that has a faction to celebrate with her, a history to reflect upon. It's Micah that's been the subject of their shared promos, her failure to deliver for her fans, her emotional distress from losing the 5-star. Suzu keeps winning and winning and winning, and she could even win this. And none of it has created a powerful story. At the very least, Stardom needs to find a way to change that fact in 2024. I'm picking Suzu Suzuki to win. I think this will be a hell of a match. I think these two have crafted an intense rivalry, and I take my hat off to them. And I hope we can all smile when this show is over. If you found this transmission valuable, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. Thanks for listening to Red Belt Radio.